Number 12. 2025 Bentley Bentayga Speed. The 2025 Bentley Bentayga may look like just another luxury SUV, but the moment the doors close with a whisper, it's clear this thing is playing in an entirely different league. Starting at $207,050 and climbing up to $339,850, it's the entry-level Bentley. But nothing about it feels entry-level. Under the hood, there's a choice. A 443 horsepower hybrid V6 for those wanting a touch of efficiency, or the 542 horsepower twin-turbo V8 that launches the Bentayga S from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds. That's supercar speed in a vehicle with massaging rear seats and a safe with fingerprint reader. Inside, it's a sensory overload in the best way possible. Leather that smells like old money, real wood accents polished like a piano, and enough shiny metal trim to make a Rolex feel insecure. There's even an optional mother-of-pearl-faced Breitling dash clock and a bottle cooler in the back, because hydration should never be basic. The new long wheelbase version adds limo-like legroom with reclining rear seats that tilt back a full 40 degrees. For those in the back, there's an entertainment system with dual 10.2-inch screens, while up front, a crisp 10.9-inch display offers Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The bass stereo is solid with 12 speakers, but if money's no object, the NIME 20-speaker setup will make every playlist feel like a live concert. Fuel economy? The hybrid hits 24 mpg on the highway and cruises 23 miles on electric power alone. But even the V8 version surprised with a solid 24 mpg during highway testing. And while the Bentayga's safety features are excellent, it's ironic that many are optional, even though the price tag could cover a down payment on a mansion. Still, none of that seems to matter once the twin-turbo V8 growls to life and that big, heavy SUV glides around corners like it's lighter than it should be. Number 11. 2025 Cadillac Escalade V. The 2025 Cadillac Escalade doesn't just whisper luxury, it shouts it through a 55-inch wall of digital display, a supercharged engine that could wake the neighbors, and a cabin so plush it's almost smug. At first glance, the updates might look like minor tweaks: sharper LED headlights, a more aggressive grille, a few new paint shades like Aegean stone and deep sea metallic. But step inside and it's a digital playground. The curved OLED dash wraps the front of the cabin like a cockpit, flowing from gauge cluster to infotainment with seamless transitions. And for those in the back, dual 12.6-inch rear screens make it hard to tell if you're in an SUV or a high-end cinema on wheels. At its core, the Escalade still offers Cadillac's signature 6.2-liter V8 with 420 horses, but the real thrill comes in the V-Series trim, a thunderous 682 horsepower supercharged V8 that slams from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.3 seconds. That's right, a near 3-ton luxury truck pulling muscle car numbers. Of course, the fuel economy is nothing to brag about. Expect 11 mpg in the city if you're heavy on the gas. But at this level, few buyers are crunching fuel costs. Prices start at $90,295 and skyrocket to $167,695 if you're going all in on the V model. But those dollars buy more than leather and horsepower. The premium luxury platinum trim delivers massaging 16-way seats, a 36-speaker AKG audio system that hits every note, and doors that open and close with a fingertip touch. And with Super Cruise hands-free driving now standard, highway miles just became autopilot dreams. This isn't just a family hauler. It's a rolling monument to indulgence, performance, and tech, one that doesn't ask for attention, but demands it the moment it rolls into the lot. Number 10. 2025 Mercedes-AMG GLC 63 SE. The 2025 Mercedes-AMG GLC 63 SE performance isn't just powerful. It's practically a high-performance science experiment wearing a designer suit. At a starting price of $87,200, this small all-wheel drive SUV brings together luxury and sheer brute force in a way that feels almost unfair to everything else on the road. Under the hood is a handcrafted 2.0-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine, fused with a permanently excited electric motor. Combined, they throw down a jaw-dropping 671 horsepower and 752 pound-feet of torque. That's not a typo. This hybrid setup pushes the limits of what anyone expects from a four-cylinder. It's armed with a 9-speed AMG speed shift transmission, complete with a wet multi-disc start-off clutch and steering wheel-mounted paddle shifters. The power delivery is instant and unapologetic, and the air body control suspension constantly adjusts to keep everything pinned to the road. Summer high-performance tires wrap around staggered 20-inch wheels, 265 in the front, 295 in the rear, so it grips like a machine with something to prove. The 17.2-gallon fuel tank and estimated 19.9 mpg combined fuel economy give it a city range of about 327 miles. Not bad for something that could probably outrun half the cars on a track day. And it's not just brawn. This thing is packed with brains. A third-generation MBUX system with an 11.9-inch touchscreen, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and a Burmester 3D surround system with 15 speakers and a 710-watt amplifier make the cabin feel like a private concert hall. And don't forget the express sunroof, heated wiper park, and the ability to personalize your ambient soundscape. From the chrome door handles to the LED brake lights and rear fog lamps, every inch has been touched with AMG intent. It's fast, loud, and far too clever for its own good. Number 9. 2025 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. The 2025 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat was supposed to be history, but instead of a farewell, it returned louder, faster, and just as absurd. This is a 710 horsepower supercharged V8 SUV that screams defiance at fuel economy and practicality. It gulps gas like a frat boy at an open bar, 12 mpg in the city, 17 on the highway, and maybe less if the right foot gets heavy. Yet it somehow pulls double duty, towing up to 8,700 pounds while launching from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.6 seconds. That's not quick for an SUV. That's fast for anything. Starting at $86,590 and stretching past $102,000 for the limited edition Silver Bullet, Brass Monkey, and Hammerhead trims, the Durango SRT Hellcat is unapologetically pricey. It shares the power plant with a Challenger Hellcat Redeye, and it'll run a quarter mile in just 12 seconds. Despite tipping the scales at over 5,500 pounds, the handling surprises, with 20-inch wheels wrapped in Pirelli's gripping corners at 0.87 G. Brembo brakes clamp down hard, 6-piston calipers in front, 4 in the rear, to bring it all to a stop in just 165 feet from 70 miles per hour. Inside, it's a mix of muscle car drama and SUV function. The flat-bottomed steering wheel glows with an SRT logo, while the seats are wrapped in Napa leather and micro-suede, or optionally, blood-red Laguna leather called Demonic Red. There's space for 6, with enough cargo room to fit 4 carry-ons behind the third row and 26 bags if everything folds down. Still, some materials feel closer to a $50,000 SUV than a 6-figure one. It's loud, excessive, and completely over the top. But that's the point. This isn't a car for the sensible. It's the middle finger on 4 wheels, daring anything else on the road to catch it. Number 8. 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. For 2025, the Jeep Grand Cherokee keeps its rugged charm but throws in a dose of refinement, offering something for both the trail-hardened adventurer and the tech-loving city driver. Starting at $38,490 and stretching to $65,035 for the top-tier Summit Reserve, the Grand Cherokee delivers options for nearly every budget. Just be warned, those luxury trims creep into BMW and Mercedes territory pretty fast. Under the hood, a 293-horsepower 3.6-liter V6 gives it enough muscle to tow up to 6,200 pounds, more than what the Toyota 4Runner or even the Jeep Wrangler can pull. On the road, it's surprisingly composed, especially when fitted with air springs and adaptive dampers. It might not be the speed king, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds for the V6, but the plug-in hybrid 4xe shaves that down to a shocking 5.3 seconds. Yes, a hybrid Jeep outpaces the standard gas model. Inside, it's where things get slick. Skip the base Laredo and aim for the limited trim around $44,900. It piles on leather seats, a power liftgate, ambient lighting, heated seats front and back, and even remote start. For a truly techie ride, there's a package that adds a 360-degree camera, ventilated seats, a wireless charger, rain-sensing wipers, and a collision avoidance system that practically sees around corners at intersections. Infotainment comes through either an 8.4 or 10.1-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and optional upgrades like a 19-speaker Macintosh sound system. Even the passenger gets their own screen in higher trims. Safety? It's all there. Lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and a hands-free driving system on upper trims. It's a two-row SUV only, but with 9 trims to choose from, there's no shortage of flavor. Each version serving a specific kind of driver, from the minimalist to the one chasing luxury without crossing over into six-figure madness. Number 7. 2025 BMW X6M. For 2025, the Jeep Grand Cherokee keeps its rugged charm, but throws in a dose of refinement, offering something for both the trail-hardened adventurer and the tech-loving city driver. Starting at $38,490 and stretching to $65,035 for the top-tier Summit Reserve, the Grand Cherokee delivers options for nearly every budget. Just be warned, those luxury trims creep into BMW and Mercedes territory pretty fast. Under the hood, a 293 horsepower, 3.6-liter V6 gives it enough muscle to tow up to 6,200 pounds, more than what the Toyota 4Runner or even the Jeep Wrangler can pull. On the road, it's surprisingly composed, especially when fitted with air springs and adaptive dampers. It might not be the speed king, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds for the V6, but the plug-in hybrid 4xe shaved that down to a shocking 5.3 seconds. Yes, a hybrid Jeep outpaces the standard gas model. Inside, it's where things get slick. Skip the base Laredo and aim for the limited trim around $44,900. It piles on leather seats, a power liftgate, ambient lighting, heated seats front and back, and even remote start. For a truly techie ride, there's a package that adds a 360-degree camera, ventilated seats, a wireless charger, rain-sensing wipers, and a collision avoidance system that practically sees around corners at intersections. Infotainment comes through either an 8.4 or 10.1-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and optional upgrades like a 19-speaker Macintosh sound system. Even the passenger gets their own screen in higher trims. Safety? It's all there. Lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and a hands-free driving system on upper trims. It's a two-row SUV only, but with 9 trims to choose from, there's no shortage of flavor. Each version serving a specific kind of driver, from the minimalist to the one chasing luxury without crossing over into six-figure madness. Number 6. 2025 Lincoln Navigator. The 2025 Lincoln Navigator doesn't whisper luxury. It shouts it through a 48-inch panoramic screen and a twin turbocharged engine that hauls like a freight train while cradling its passengers in massaging, ventilated seats. With a starting price of $101,990 and climbing to $121,485, this SUV has retired the base Premier trim and now goes full luxury from the jump. The new Black Label themes take personalization to wild new heights. Choose between Enlighten's birch wood and beige or Atmospherics off-white leather, copper trim, and 24-inch copper wheels. The vehicle even greets you with a split tailgate, part liftgate, part drop-down tailgate for easier access. Under the hood, a 440 horsepower twin-turbo V6 teams up with a 10-speed automatic transmission to move this 8,700-pound towing brute from 0 to 60 in around 5.3 seconds. Not bad for a rolling tech suite. That muscle, however, comes with a cost. Fuel economy lands at 16 mpg in the city and 22 on the highway. But for buyers looking at SUVs that top 6 figures, that's often a footnote. Inside, the Navigator is less a car and more a luxury lounge. It seats up to 8 with massaging second-row options and now even heated third-row seats. The dash-spanning infotainment screen dominates the cabin, and while it's visually impressive, the placement of the touchscreen beneath the dash feels like an ergonomic miss. Still, with 28 Revel speakers and a rejuvenate mode designed to decompress frazzled nerves, comfort is practically baked into the chassis. Standard safety tech includes Blue Cruise hands-free driving, blind spot monitoring, and automated emergency braking. And with 14 USB-C ports, 4 in the third row, no one has to fight for power again. This SUV is less about transportation and more about rolling escapism for those who can afford to live large. Number 5. 2025 Audi RS Q8. The 2025 Audi RS Q8 packs the bones of a Lamborghini Urus, but hides it under an Audi badge and a sleeker suit. It's powered by a twin-turbo 4.0-liter V8 that kicks out a whopping 631 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque, all flowing through an 8-speed automatic and Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive. It rips from 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, just a blink slower than the Urus, but saves you roughly $100,000 in the process. That's a lot of speed per dollar. What really makes the RS Q8 performance pop is the way it blends raw power with surprising grace. Want to cruise comfortably? Dial in the adaptive air suspension and let the electromechanical roll stabilization smooth things out. But put your foot down, and that suspension stiffens. The mechanical center differential kicks in, and it grips the pavement like a sports car, not a 5,500-pound SUV. Inside, it's luxury on lock. Think ventilated leather sports seats, real metal accents, and a 17-speaker Bang & Olufsen system that floods the cabin with sound. RS logos are sprinkled throughout, and dual touchscreens, plus a virtual cockpit, bring all the torque, lap times, and G-force data you could ever need right to your fingertips. Fuel economy? Let's just say the 14-mile PG in the city isn't going to win any green awards. But no one buys a $137,495 SUV to save gas money. This is about presence, precision, and performance, all delivered without the Urus's screaming style. And while the RS Q8 might look reserved, it's anything but tame. Think stealth bomber in a business suit. Only difference? This one hits 190 miles per hour. Number 4. 2025 Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT. The 2025 Porsche Cayenne isn't just another luxury SUV. It's the result of over 20 years of obsessive performance engineering. Mid-size on paper, but once it hits the road, it moves like a sports car in disguise. There's a sense of agility that feels deliberate, like Porsche has been refining every corner and curve since day one. It offers multiple powertrains to satisfy different cravings, from the lively 348 horsepower turbo V6 to a ferocious 650 horsepower twin-turbo V8 that roars like it's angry at the pavement. And then there's the all-new GTS model, packing 493 horses and armed with hardware straight from the wild Turbo GT. Water-cooled all-wheel drive system, performance-tuned suspension. This thing doesn't just drive, it snaps to attention. Speed, the base V6 hits 60 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds. The S-Coupe cuts that to 3.9, and the unhinged Turbo GT Coupe launches to 60 in just 2.8 seconds. That's supercar territory, wrapped in SUV comfort. Prices reflect the pedigree, starting at $86,695 and topping out at a jaw-dropping $205,795, depending on how deep one goes into Porsche's endless customization catalog. Inside, it's a tech-forward lounge. A 12.3-inch central screen takes center stage, flanked by a 12.6-inch driver display and an optional 10.9-inch passenger screen that can stream videos. The cabin feels tailored, not templated. Even the seatbelt color can be customized, for a price. Rear seats are adjustable, offering serious comfort despite the Cayenne's 2-row format. And safety doesn't play second fiddle. Forward collision alerts, parking sensors, adaptive cruise control, even night vision are all part of the arsenal. It's the kind of SUV that redefines expectations. Luxury, speed, and control wrapped in one menacing, meticulously engineered package. Number 3. 2025 Aston Martin DBX 707. If James Bond ever traded in espionage for school runs, the 2025 Aston Martin DBX 707 would be parked in his driveway. This isn't just an SUV, it's a supercar in disguise. Wrapped in stitched leather and roaring through suburbia with a twin-turbo 697 horsepower V8 under the hood, it hits 60 miles per hour in just 3.1 seconds. That's quicker than most sports cars. And yes, it can still fit a couple of strollers and enough luggage for a family weekend escape. Aston Martin has decided to drop the base model for 2025, leaving only the most powerful 707 variant, starting at a jaw-dropping $256,086. What you get for that price is a completely revamped interior, including a fresh dashboard, a sleek new steering wheel, a user-friendly 10.2-inch touchscreen, and a 14-speaker sound system that could shake the windows of Buckingham Palace. Want more? Upgrade to a 23-speaker Bowers & Wilkins setup and drown out any tantrum in glorious 800-watt clarity. It's not all glitz and glam. There's some serious engineering beneath the tailored leather. Adaptive dampers and height-adjustable air springs make the DBX both road-hugging and trail-capable. It even tows up to 5,940 pounds. Rear legroom is generous, and cargo space stretches to 54 cubic feet with the seats down. Though the brake pedal lacks feel, the 707 still stops from 70 miles per hour in just 151 feet. This British brute comes loaded with safety tech. Lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, and automated emergency braking are all standard. The limited and powertrain warranties last 3 years with unlimited mileage, but don't expect free scheduled maintenance. It's a luxury missile for those who want speed, status, and space, and who have $250,000 burning a hole in their bank account. Number 2. 2025 Lamborghini Urus SE Hybrid. It looks like something straight out of a sci-fi action film, just rolled off the factory floor. Only it's real, and it's called the 2025 Lamborghini Urus SE. This isn't just another flashy SUV screaming for attention. It's a hybrid juggernaut with 789 horsepower, all packed into a 4-door body that somehow manages to fit both a jet fighter and a luxury lounge into one design. The twin-turbocharged 4.0-liter V8 snarls like it's ready to tear the asphalt apart, and when paired with a 192-horsepower electric motor, it delivers jaw-dropping torque that kicks in at just 1750 RPM and keeps you pinned until 550 RPM. From a standstill, it hits 60 miles per hour in just 3.4 seconds, though testers say that's conservative. Push it harder, and it blasts past 125 miles per hour in just 12.5 seconds. The price tag? It starts at $241,843, but the SE Hybrid, the sweet spot, will set buyers back $262,631. Those looking for ultimate edge might stretch to the $273,880 Performante. This year also brings a new face. Fresh LED matrix headlights, a sculpted hood, a redesigned rear liftgate with a sharp crease, and wheels so wide, 23 inches wrapped in Pirelli P0s, they almost seem illegal. The cabin is all fighter jet swagger, flip-up starter buttons, throttle-style shifters, carbon fiber suede, and 2 touchscreens that run the infotainment show. And while it shouts performance, it still gives back. Up to 22 cubic feet of cargo space, unless you go for the bucket seat layout, then it's 20. Yes, it's loud. Yes, it's expensive. But it's also a Lamborghini with a conscience, sipping gas when it can, thanks to its hybrid setup and promising around 21 miles of pure electric drive. It's a rare thing, a wild child wearing a power suit. Number 1. 2025 Ferrari Purosangue. The 2025 Ferrari Purosangue is what happens when a V12 roars into the SUV game wearing a tuxedo made of carbon fiber. At $433,686, it's not here to compete with other family haulers. It's here to show off, intimidate, and absolutely annihilate every stereotype about what a 4-door can be. With 715 horsepower from a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12, this machine screams to 60 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds and tops out at 193 miles per hour. That's faster than some supercars, and yet, somehow, this thing seats 4 people comfortably. Suicide-style rear doors swing open to reveal a cockpit dripping in Ferrari-quality materials, individual bucket seats front and back, and a control setup that demands your full attention. And probably a brief tutorial. There's no central touchscreen here. Ferrari threw that idea out the window and handed the passenger their own 10.2-inch display, while the driver commands everything through the wheel. No built-in navigation either, because, let's face it, anyone driving this is probably using their phone anyway, or just knows their way around Monaco. The Purosangue isn't subtle. It doesn't sip fuel either. Expect around 12 mpg combined. But anyone shopping in this ultra-luxury SUV bracket isn't worried about gas receipts. Handling? Sharp as a scalpel. Thanks to Ferrari's wild adaptive suspension system, one that doesn't even need anti-roll bars, the Purosangue leans into corners like a sports coupe and even lowers itself by 0.4 inches when it's time to get serious. And despite its jaw-dropping performance, this SUV still packs in safety features like adaptive cruise control, emergency braking, and lane keeping assist. Ferrari even throws in 7 years of complimentary maintenance. That's rare air. This isn't just a fast SUV, it's a Ferrari that just happens to carry 4 people while leaving everyone else behind.